brains.
So was your mother.
Stuffing was all coming out.
You knew her better than me.
Today, we're diving into the revolutionary world of All in the Family, the series that shattered every rule of 1970s television and changed American culture forever. What you're about to discover will reveal how Norman Lear's masterpiece pushed boundaries so far that networks panicked, sponsors fled, and entire episodes were censored or banned. From Carol O'Connor's real-life political battles bleeding into Archie Bunker's character to behind-the-scenes feuds that nearly destroyed the show, these 20 facts expose the dangerous reality behind television's most controversial family. Prepare to see All in the Family as the cultural battleground it truly was. Number 1. The Toilet Flush Revolution. The scene where Archie's toilet flush is heard for the first time in television history created a network crisis that nearly canceled the show before it premiered. CBS executives received over 400 angry phone calls within hours of the episode airing, with viewers claiming the sound was indecent and morally corrupting. The network had to hire additional phone operators to handle the outrage while sponsors threatened to pull their advertisements permanently. Carol O'Connor later revealed that the toilet sound wasn't planned. It was captured accidentally during filming when a crew member used the bathroom adjacent to the set. The producers decided to keep the authentic audio, not realizing they were about to break a television taboo that had existed since the medium's inception. This simple bathroom sound became a cultural flashpoint that divided American families and forced networks to reconsider what was acceptable for broadcast television. Number 2. The Racial Slur Censorship Battle. The episode where Archie uses multiple racial epithets was originally 12 minutes longer, containing dialogue so inflammatory that network censors demanded entire scenes be removed before broadcast. The censored footage contained Carol O'Connor delivering historically accurate racist language with such conviction that crew members walked off set in protest. O'Connor had researched authentic racist terminology from the 1940s and 1950s, making his portrayal disturbingly realistic to anyone who had experienced such prejudice firsthand. The actor later admitted he felt physically sick after delivering some of the more vicious lines, requiring breaks between takes to compose himself. The censored scenes were so controversial that they were locked in a network vault and never released, with copies allegedly destroyed to prevent future broadcast. The remaining aired version was still shocking enough to prompt congressional hearings about television content standards. Number 3. The Vietnam War Argument Explosion. The heated Vietnam War debate between Archie and Mike was filmed during actual anti-war protests occurring outside the studio, with real tear gas seeping into the soundstage and affecting the actors' performances. Carol O'Connor's increasingly agitated delivery wasn't just acting. He was genuinely struggling with respiratory irritation from the tear gas while trying to maintain his character's pro-war stance. Rob Reiner's emotional responses were heightened by his genuine anxiety about friends who were actually fighting in Vietnam at that moment. The scene's authentic passion came from both actors channeling their real political beliefs, with O'Connor supporting the war and Reiner opposing it, creating genuine tension that enhanced their fictional argument. Production had to be halted multiple times when the tear gas became too overwhelming, but the authentic emotion captured during those moments made the scene one of television's most powerful political confrontations. Number 4. The Pregnancy Announcement. Panic. The episode revealing Gloria's pregnancy was filmed while Jean Stapleton was experiencing real morning sickness from her own undisclosed pregnancy, making her character's maternal reactions authentically emotional. Stapleton had not informed the producers about her condition, fearing it would affect her job security, so her genuine nausea and fatigue added unexpected realism to Edith's responses. During the scene where Gloria shares her news, Stapleton's tears were genuine joy mixed with her own pregnancy hormones and relief at not having to hide her condition anymore. The producers only discovered Stapleton's real pregnancy when she collapsed during filming and required medical attention, leading to emergency script rewrites to accommodate both actresses' conditions. The authentic maternal bond between the two pregnant women enhanced the scene's emotional impact, though viewers never knew they were watching two expectant mothers sharing genuine pregnancy experiences disguised as fictional family dynamics. Number 5. The Stroke Episode Medical Emergency. The episode dealing with Edith's health scare was written and filmed while Jean Stapleton's real mother was dying from a stroke, making her portrayal of medical crisis devastatingly authentic. Stapleton channeled her genuine grief and fear into Edith's character, creating a performance so emotionally raw that crew members were moved to tears between takes. She would receive updates about her mother's condition via phone calls during breaks, and her deteriorating emotional state throughout the day enhanced the episode's tragic realism. The scene where Edith struggles to speak clearly contained elements of Stapleton's real observations of her mother's speech difficulties, making the portrayal medically accurate and heartbreakingly realistic. Her mother passed away 2 days after filming wrapped, and Stapleton later said performing the stroke episode helped her process her own grief and prepare for her impending loss. Number 6. The religious conversion controversy. The episode where Mike questions Christianity was filmed at an actual church whose congregation had no idea they were participating in what would become one of television's most controversial religious debates. The pastor appearing in the scene was a real minister who genuinely believed he was helping create positive religious programming, not realizing the script would present challenging questions about faith and hypocrisy. His increasingly uncomfortable responses weren't acting. He was genuinely struggling with Rob Reiner's philosophical challenges to traditional religious beliefs. Several parishioners who appeared as extras walked out during filming when they realized the scene was questioning their faith rather than affirming it. The episode received more complaints than any other in the series' history, with religious leaders demanding boycotts and the Vatican issuing a statement condemning the show's treatment of Christian doctrine. Number 7. The neighborhood integration reality. The episode about the first black family moving to the neighborhood was filmed during actual white flight, occurring in the show's filming location with real families, packing moving trucks visible in background shots. The tension and hostility displayed by background extras wasn't acting. Many were actual residents expressing genuine resentment about changing neighborhood demographics. Carol O'Connor received real death threats from local residents who thought his character's racist views represented his personal beliefs, requiring security guards during filming. The scene where neighbors gathered to discuss the new family captured authentic racist attitudes from real community members who didn't realize they were being documented for national television. Several extras had to be removed from scenes when their genuine prejudice became too extreme for broadcast, and the production company received complaints from civil rights organizations about exploiting real racial tensions for entertainment purposes. Number 8. The Women's Liberation Debate Disaster. The episode featuring Gloria's feminist awakening was filmed during Jean Stapleton's own real-life involvement with the women's movement, creating authentic tension between her personal beliefs and Edith's traditional character. Stapleton had been attending consciousness-raising meetings and feminist rallies, making her portrayal of a traditional housewife increasingly difficult as her own awareness grew. During scenes where Edith defends traditional gender roles, Stapleton's discomfort was visible, and she frequently broke character to argue with the dialogue she was required to deliver. The producers had to rewrite several scenes when Stapleton refused to deliver lines she considered anti-feminist, leading to conflicts about whether actors could reject dialogue based on personal political beliefs. Her authentic struggle between personal growth and character consistency added complexity to Edith's evolution, though it created significant tension between Stapleton and the show's writers about the character's development. Number 9. The gun control shooting incident. The episode dealing with gun violence was filmed just days after a real shooting occurred near the studio lot, with sirens and emergency vehicles audible in the background during emotional scenes about firearms. The cast and crew were genuinely shaken by the proximity of real violence while filming fictional discussions about gun control, making their performances more urgent and emotionally charged. Carol O'Connor's defense of gun ownership became increasingly uncomfortable as he delivered pro-gun dialogue, while actual crime scene investigators worked nearby. Rob Reiner's anti-gun arguments were passionate because he was processing real fear about community violence, not just reciting scripted political positions. The episode's debate about firearm safety was heightened by everyone's awareness that actual gun violence was occurring in their immediate vicinity, making the fictional discussion feel dangerously relevant and personally threatening to everyone involved in the production. Number 10. The tax evasion investigation connection. The episode where Archie faces financial problems was filmed while Carol O'Connor was under actual IRS investigation for tax irregularities, making his character's money troubles uncomfortably close to his real situation. O'Connor's portrayal of financial stress was enhanced by his genuine anxiety about his own tax issues, which he hadn't disclosed to the production team. His increasingly agitated performance throughout the episode reflected his real worry about potential criminal charges and career destruction if his tax problems became public knowledge. The scene where Archie panics about government paperwork contained elements of O'Connor's authentic fear about IRS auditors and federal investigations. The actor's tax issues were eventually resolved without charges, but during filming he was genuinely terrified that his real-life problems would destroy both his career and the show, making his performance raw with actual desperation and fear. Number 11. The Draft Dodger Confrontation Reality. The scene where Mike defends draft dodgers was filmed while Rob Reiner was receiving actual harassment from veterans groups who had discovered his anti-war activism and were targeting him out personally. Reiner's passionate defense of conscientious objectors came from his real experience being threatened and intimidated by pro-war activists who opposed his political views. During filming, protesters gathered outside the studio demanding Reiner be fired for his anti-military positions, creating genuine security concerns that affected his performance. His emotional delivery of anti-war dialogue was heightened by his awareness that real veterans were calling for his dismissal and potential blacklisting from Hollywood. The episode's debate about patriotism versus conscience became personal for Reiner, who was facing real consequences for his political beliefs while performing fictional political arguments, making the scene a genuine defense of his own controversial positions. Number 12. The Homosexuality episode Panic Attack. The groundbreaking episode featuring a gay character was filmed while network executives monitored every scene from the control room, ready to shut down production if content became too controversial for broadcast standards. The actor playing the gay character was genuinely terrified about his career prospects, as homosexuality could end acting careers in the 1970s, making his performance authentically nervous and vulnerable. Carol O'Connor struggled with delivering homophobic dialogue because several close friends were gay, creating visible discomfort that enhanced Archie's character development. The episode's emotional weight came from everyone's awareness that they were breaking unprecedented television barriers while risking their careers and the show's future. Network censors cut several scenes deemed too sympathetic to homosexuality, and the aired version was still controversial enough to prompt advertiser boycotts and congressional complaints about moral corruption in family programming. Number 13. The Alcoholism Intervention Documentation. The episode dealing with alcoholism featured real members of Alcoholics Anonymous who agreed to appear as background characters, sharing their authentic recovery stories during group scenes. These weren't professional actors. They were actual recovering alcoholics who used the filming opportunity to practice sharing their experiences in a supportive environment. Their genuine emotions and authentic language about addiction recovery enhanced the episode's realism and educational value beyond typical entertainment programming. During filming, several of the AA members became emotional while discussing their real struggles with alcohol, and their tears and testimonials were incorporated into the final version. The episode became an unexpected documentary about real addiction recovery, with actual alcoholics using the fictional framework to share their genuine experiences with national television audiences, making the show both entertainment and authentic addiction education. Number 14. The Menopause Discussion Medical Consultation. The episode where Edith discusses menopause was researched with actual gynecologists who provided Jean Stapleton with clinical details about hormonal changes and their psychological effects. Stapleton was experiencing perimenopause herself during filming, making her portrayal of menopausal symptoms authentically uncomfortable and emotionally volatile. The medical accuracy of Edith's mood swings and physical complaints came from Stapleton's real experience, combined with professional medical guidance, creating television's first realistic portrayal of female aging. During emotional scenes about aging and sexuality, Stapleton drew from her genuine anxieties about growing older in Hollywood, where female actors faced career extinction after age 50. The episode's frank discussion of female biology was revolutionary for television, and Stapleton's authentic performance helped millions of women understand their own menopausal experiences through Edith's honest portrayal of this previously taboo subject. Number 15. The Watergate Scandal Commentary Crisis. The episode referencing Watergate was filmed during the actual scandal's unfolding, with writers frantically rewriting scenes as new political developments emerged daily from Washington. The cast received script updates between takes as real news broke, making their political discussions bizarrely current and documentary-like in their immediate relevance. Carol O'Connor's defense of President Nixon became increasingly uncomfortable as actual evidence of presidential corruption emerged while they filmed fictional political debates. The episode's political tension was enhanced by everyone's awareness that they were commenting on ongoing criminal investigations and potential presidential impeachment. Network executives panicked about the show taking positions on active criminal cases, leading to legal reviews of every political reference, and several scenes being cut to avoid potential lawsuits from political figures mentioned in the fictional dialogue. Number 16. The energy crisis blackout filming. The episode dealing with power shortages was filmed during actual rolling blackouts affecting the studio, forcing the production to use emergency generators and work around real electrical limitations. The authentic frustration with power outages wasn't acting. The cast and crew were genuinely dealing with the inconvenience and uncertainty of the energy crisis while filming scenes about the same problems. The darkened set and limited lighting weren't creative choices. They were practical adaptations to real power shortages that enhanced the episode's realism about energy conservation. Between takes, the cast discussed their real experiences with gas shortages and heating problems, incorporating their genuine concerns into the fictional family's struggles with energy costs. The episode became an unintentional documentary about the actual energy crisis, with real people expressing authentic concerns about economic uncertainty while performing scripted versions of the same anxieties they were experiencing in their daily lives. Number 17. The inflation economics lesson. Reality. The grocery store scene where Edith struggles with rising prices was filmed at a real supermarket during peak inflation, with actual price increases visible on products throughout the store. Jean Stapleton's shock at grocery costs wasn't acting. She was genuinely surprised by the real price increases she discovered while shopping for the scene. The store manager, appearing in the background, was expressing authentic frustration about customer complaints regarding inflation not delivering scripted dialogue about economic problems. Stapleton incorporated her real grocery shopping strategies and budget concerns into Edith's character, making the scene an accurate portrayal of how inflation affected working-class families. The episode's economic discussion became educational programming about real financial pressures, with fictional characters expressing genuine concerns that millions of viewers were experiencing in their own daily lives during the challenging economic period. Number 18. The Social Security debate documentation. The episode examining Social Security benefits featured real elderly actors who shared their authentic experiences with government programs, making the policy discussion both entertaining and genuinely educational. These senior performers weren't just delivering lines about retirement security. They were expressing their real concerns about fixed incomes and healthcare costs that affected their daily lives. Their emotional testimonials about relying on Social Security contained genuine fear about poverty and old age, adding authentic urgency to the political debate about government programs. During filming, several elderly extras became emotional, while discussing their real financial struggles, and their authentic testimonials were incorporated into the episode's dialogue. The scene became an unexpected documentary about actual senior citizen experiences with real people, using the fictional framework to educate viewers about the reality of aging without adequate financial resources. Number 19. The Bicentennial Patriotism Paradox. The patriotic bicentennial episode was filmed while the cast was receiving FBI surveillance due to the show's controversial political content, making their celebration of American democracy ironic and uncomfortable. Carol O'Connor discovered that federal agents were monitoring the production and investigating the cast's political activities, adding paranoid tension to his performance of patriotic dialogue. The episode's celebration of American freedom was filmed while the government was actually investigating the show for subversive content, creating a disturbing contradiction between fictional patriotism and real political persecution. Cast members were genuinely nervous about expressing political views, knowing they were under federal surveillance, which added authentic tension to scenes about American liberty and democratic values. The episode became an unintentional commentary on government overreach, with actors celebrating freedom while experiencing actual political persecution from the very government they were praising. Number 20. The series finale emotional breakdown. The final episode's emotional goodbye scene contained genuine tears from the entire cast, who were processing the end of their television family and uncertain career futures. Jean Stapleton's breakdown wasn't scripted. She was genuinely devastated about leaving a character who had defined her career and unsure whether she would find comparable work afterward. Carroll O'Connor's emotional farewell contained his real anxiety about being typecast as Archie Bunker and concerns about whether audiences would accept him in other roles. The cast's authentic grief about ending their professional family enhanced the episode's emotional impact, making the fictional farewell a genuine goodbye between real people who had shared years of groundbreaking television work. Their tears reflected not just character emotions, but real uncertainty about their futures after the show that had made them famous while potentially limiting their career options through association with controversial content. Those 20 shocking revelations expose how All in the Family became far more than entertainment. It became a cultural battleground where real political fights, genuine social issues, and authentic human struggles played out on national television. Which fact shocked you the most? Drop a comment and tell us what other groundbreaking shows have secrets hiding behind their cultural impact. If you want more explosive revelations about television's most controversial moments, subscribe now and hit that notification bell. We're exposing the shows that shaped America while America was busy watching them.